Hi, welcome to day 2 of our How to Find Your Purpose in 3 Days challenge. Welcome back. I'm a little toddy today. I don't even have any really good excuse. I took a nap and then it took longer than I anticipated to get ready. That's all. That's my reasoning. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed day 1. I loved hearing all about your desires, that if you could be paid to do anything, what you would want to be paid to do. Hey Gina, hi Alyssa, hi Beta. Welcome, 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 darlings. I'm so glad to have you back. Okay, so day 2 is really dealing with the core belief that what we want simply isn't available. Okay, so hey Rach. So that can be a challenge, right? Because let's say that even if you believe that you deserve to have the life that you want, hi, and if you believe that you can do what you want to do and create what you want to create. Hey, Maria, welcome. Hi, Lise. Hi, sweetheart. What are you going to do if you don't think it's available, right? Then you're kind of SOL. Hi, Tracy. Welcome back, babe. And let's be real, because what we're focusing on, hi, Lindsay. Hi, Jess. What we're really focusing on is, Myrtle Beach. Lovely. Someone's on vacay. That's so good. You so deserve it, Rach. Myrtley. Hi, Kim. Welcome. So what we're really talking about is being paid to do something that lights us up. And if you caught yesterday's, thank you, Lindsay, you're so sweet. Hi, Felicia, nice to have you. Yeah, the new colors at New York & Company this summer are like purples and greens and blues and my brand color, coral, and I was like, yes. They were having a really great sale, so I just grabbed like a ton of stuff. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so what we're really here to do is to figure out what you're here for in this group, in this challenge, is to figure out how do you get paid for being you. Right? When you came in, you thought that this challenge was about how do you find your divine purpose. But if you saw our video yesterday and you saw our life class, you learned that you don't find your divine purpose. You are your divine purpose. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You showed up exactly the way that Creator intended. So everything about you is already perfect. There's just a cracking off of all the crap that you've accumulated, right? And then developing and cultivating the belief that you're able to be paid just for being you. So that's why we did that exercise that we did in class today. We're going to talk specifically about today in our live class and do a process on, okay, well, what if I don't believe? What if I don't believe that it's possible? Like, that's all very well and good that you're saying that it's possible for me to make money being myself. Miss Anne, hi, darling. Good to have you. But what if I don't believe that that's possible? And how can we go about removing that limitation so that you can really truly live the life of your dreams just the way that you were intended to, and in the way that's going to bless the world and everybody around you? So let's talk a little bit. This one we're going to do a little bit more science-y. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how the mind works. So we've got conscious versus unconscious. Okay. Aw. Me too. I hope all y'all's hearts are happy today. So we've got our conscious mind, and our conscious mind is right here. It's our prefrontal cortex. It is responsible for our logic, our analyzing, decision-making, our willpower. And spoiler alert, it only controls about 5% of our day. What? Crazy, right? So if our unconscious mind is only controlling our conscious mind is only controlling 5% of our day, what the heck is happening with the rest of the 95%? You might be wondering. Well, that would be a good question. That is controlled by your unconscious mind. So we've got conscious here. It's like this tiny little tip of the iceberg, and then we have your unconscious mind here, which is like humongous, and it controls 95% of our day. Now, as it insinuates, our unconscious mind lives below the level of conscious awareness. We have no idea what's happening down there. It has our thoughts, it has our beliefs, it has our programming, it's got our emotions, it's got our automatic behavior, it's got our automatic reactions, right? Automatic behavior is considered a behavior that is done without consciously thinking about it. Now, can any of you think of an example of automatic behavior? Something that you do without even thinking about it. One example, I'll just throw an example out there for you, would be eating, right? As you're eating, you're not thinking about picking up your utensil, making sure that it stays in your hand, and you're not thinking about balancing your food on your utensil. And yes, Gina, breathing, bingo. Not thinking about like, oh, am I gonna get it in my mouth? Oh. Yes, Tracy, get up and go to the coffee pot. Yes, locking the doors, exactly. Driving, yes, Alyssa, exactly. You're not like, 10 and 2. Oh, look in my rearview mirror. Look over my shoulder. Oh, look over here, right? And there was a point, right, when we're learning new behaviors, there is a point where it feels very conscious. But then after practice, it actually moves into our unconscious mind and becomes automatic programming, automatic behavior. Now, the thing that's really interesting is that our behavior, especially our automatic behaviors, that includes like facial expressions, right? That includes things like you hear a joke and it's funny and you laugh. Watching a scary movie and you get scared. Watching something sad and then crying. Right? You don't think, gee, that was very funny, therefore I am going to choose to laugh now. Right? That doesn't happen. It's an automatic behavior. So where do our automatic behaviors come from? What are they based on? Well, it's our belief systems, our value systems, our ideas, our unconscious ideas and our programming. And most Lindsay says she doesn't know about me, but yes, not dropping food down the front of your shirt or dress. Yes, in fact, my ex-husband said he was gonna get me a bib because it was like the food was magnetized to my shirt. So I do think about that sometimes, but the actual process of eating, not so much. Hi, Margaret. Welcome back, babe. Okay, so it's our belief systems and our programming that's controlling our automatic behavior. And I've got a couple of stories for you in a minute that are just horrifying. And so most of us are limiting ourselves without even realizing it. We don't realize because we created the majority of our automatic programming before the age of 8 years old based on our parents, other influential adults that are around us, media, society, our communities, right? So wherever we're operating, wherever we're living, we're actually unconsciously absorbing like sponges their limitations, their limiting beliefs. And we just fold it into our programming because we trust them so implicitly, hi Jasmine, that we just don't know to put it through our filter of logic and reason. Oh, by the way, logic and reason doesn't even kick in until 12 years old. So we're just like these open sponges that are taking in all these limitations from these people around us, and they become truths. They become so deeply ingrained in our systems that we just kind of assume that they are a truth, right? Some examples of limiting beliefs that feel and sound like truths are, there's never enough money, right? I'm always running out of money. There's always too much month at the end of my money, right? And Yes, I know, Gina. I know. That's why it's our job as parents to heal, so we can pass as little of our issues unconsciously onto our kids as possible. It's one of our tasks as adults. So even though historically you have lots and lots of evidence, quote unquote, that points to the fact that you don't have enough money. That's right, Rach. It's so good. It doesn't make it true. It's still a limiting belief. And the reason that it's limiting is because it's kind of deciding for you that that's the way that it's always going to be, whether or not it's true, right? Another limiting belief is, a common one is, my money slows down during the holidays. Or, this so-and-so profession slows down during the summer, right? It doesn't actually have to be true. But because it's like so naturally accepted across society, we just all buy in to this limiting consciousness because that's what everybody else says and that's what everybody else believes, right? But what about the people who make all of their money in December and don't work for the other 11 months? What about them? Why couldn't we be like that, right? And the only thing that stops us from being like that is our own belief that it's not possible for us. What? Right? And when we believe something, and our mind is committed, right? Our mind is absolutely committed to some of those limiting beliefs. When we believe something and our mind is committed, it filters out anything that would contradict that belief. Why? Because your mind has one job, and that is to make sure that it is right, whether or not it's right. So its job is to keep all of your limiting beliefs intact because it believes that that's what keeps you safe. And now let's add one more layer into the mix, which is that we take in 32 million pieces of information per second. 32 million, okay? But our mind is only capable of processing 64 pieces. So what happens to those other 32 million, and which 64 pieces of information does our mind actually allow to process? Well, it's the 64 pieces that line up with and reinforce our limiting beliefs and the programming that is already in our brains. And what it does is it just wipes off the slate, just completely out of your awareness, anything that contradicts what's already down there. That's why it feels so true, because your mind is constantly seeking evidence in your immediate surroundings that it's right. And it's not even doing it to fuck with you. Like, it's not even doing it to be mean. It's doing it because it thinks it's keeping you safe, and it's just not. It's actually working against you, right? Like, in some instances, it's definitely keeping you safe. If one of those 64 pieces was, oh, there's a cliff, it's really important that your mind registers, oh, there's a cliff, right? Or another, oh, that building is on fire. That's really important. You need to notice that that building is on fire, and we definitely don't want that to be one of the pieces that gets wiped out of the slate, right? So it thinks it's keeping you safe, and there are many instances that it is actually. But there's millions and millions more where it's actually working against you because it's preventing you from growing. It's preventing you from stepping outside of your box. It's preventing you from knowing the truth, which is that you deserve to be paid handsomely for just showing up and being yourself. And it is available to you. Okay, so just to give you kind of a little bit of an example of how the unconscious and conscious mind work together. Let's say that you grew up your entire life being told that this is a red triangle, okay? And it just reinforces red triangle, red triangle, red triangle, red triangle, okay? Hi, Steph. And then you get to school and you find out that it's actually a blue circle. Uh-oh, right? So, but you're like, no, that's a red triangle. I know, I've been told, right? So, you're so cute. So you're at school and they're showing you pictures of blue circles, And they're showing you evidence, right? Evidence upon evidence. They can show you documentaries of how blue circles were created. They can show you all of the famous people who also agree that this is a blue circle. They can have doctors with white lab coats and glasses looking very intelligent talking about the blue circle, and your conscious mind is going to go, okay, I guess that's a blue circle. But your unconscious mind will never actually be able to let go of the idea that it's actually a red triangle. And that's why it's so hard to change our limiting beliefs and to change that limiting programming, because once it's in there, there's a filter that's created that's kind of like the guardian of the unconscious mind that you can't get to. You can't get to your unconscious beliefs by speaking, by writing about them, by thinking so hard about them all the time, by watching movies, by reading books, by watching videos. You can't get to your unconscious program. You can't even get there through regular therapy or coaching or things like that. You actually need specific processes to get down through we call it the critical mind, which is like the guardian, to get into the unconscious and excavate and get rid of and just destroy and, well, let's be kind and recycle those limitations and those limiting beliefs back into positive energy, so they can actually bless you in your life and create what you want. Some other examples of limiting beliefs, especially when it comes to money, are I have to work hard to make a lot of money, right? When you think about running $1 million company, does that like stress you out beyond belief? Does that sound like too much work? Does that sound like, oh my God, so many people, and how am I going to get there? And it just sounds like too much. Or like a $10 million company, right? Because if you're already maxed out, the idea of having to create more with the very little amount of time and energy and resources that you have, it seems very unlikely, almost impossible, because as a society, we've accepted this limiting belief that you have to work hard to make a lot of money. And it's just fucking not true. Right? You're like, no. It's taking me over 10 hours a week. I'm not okay. Right? Oh my goodness. What about time equals money? Time equals money. Well, if I work for 1 hour, I need to be paid X amount of dollars. Well, if I work for 2 weeks, I need to be paid X amount of dollars, right? Or I'm already working 40 hours in my business and I'm making 4K. If I wanted to make 8K, that means I have to work 80 hours a week. Hi, Gloria. Welcome. Right? Because this is a naturally accepted. Ooh, I love that, Lindsay. That's so good, right? This is a naturally accepted limiting belief based on society's beliefs about time and money, is that time equals money, and it's simply not true. What about those guys? What about those guys who live on yachts off the Amalfi Coast for 9 months of the year, having caviar or whatever they're doing, making billions of dollars? What about them? Their time doesn't equal money. Are they better? No. Hi, Gloria. Oh, she's your friend. Oh, hey, Gloria. It's nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Or what about it's a struggle? It's a struggle. It's hard, right? That's another one that society has accepted and imposed upon us. No, it doesn't have to be a struggle. Or if it's easy, I haven't earned it. Oh my gosh. If it's easy, I haven't earned it. It's not worth it. I don't deserve it. That is one, darlings, that I am literally working through with Saphira like this week. Because my business has become so easy. And I'm like, it's not supposed to be this easy. It's not supposed to be, right? So it's not that we ever necessarily grow out of these limitations. Many of them we can, but every time we hit a new level, they're always going to rear their heads in some way. So it's really important to have tools to be able to deal with these, okay? Your homework. I want you to root out as many limiting beliefs about money as you can, okay, I'm going to give you a sentence that I want you to start. Yes, Beta, it is time to deconstruct the unconscious. It's time for a new way. It's time for an easy way. Time for effortlessness and flow and yumminess, and everything is easy. I love it. Yeah, totally, Gina. The bottom's gonna fall off, the shoe's gonna drop, it's all gonna go away. Jasmine, does it always also have to do with the vibration or the beliefs of people around you? Absolutely. Have you ever tried to change your beliefs around people who are absolutely committed to the belief that you're trying to shift away from? It's so hard. It's so hard. Like, oh, okay, I have a story for you that will reinforce that. For sure. Okay, but first your homework. Okay, write the sentence down. D. This is an unconscious process. For those of you who already have worked with me or have done classes, you'll be familiar. But what you're going to do is I'm going to start the sentence for you, and you're going to finish it with the first thing that comes to mind, okay? So you're not going to question yourself too much. You're not going to think about what the answer is. Hey, Barbie, welcome. Maria, yes. I totally get it, babe. I totally get it. Okay, so you're just going to finish the sentence with the first thing that comes to mind, and you're actually going to keep doing the sentence and keep coming up with your limiting beliefs about money until you're done, until you're essentially cycling back into the same kinds of limiting beliefs. Okay, so your sentence is, I would have more money, but. I would have more money right now, but. Or I would be making more money, but. What's the first thing that comes to mind, okay? That is a limiting belief that you have around money. I want you to source out and excavate and dig up all of the limiting beliefs that you have about money. And Lindsay says when you ask about how much you should charge for your energy readings, you receive that they'll pay you and you have to trust, and you're working through this. There's one more part of your brain, babe, that needs to be pried open. Oh. It's your vow of poverty. So you've finally begun to trust that it's okay to be paid, but the number's not coming in because your brain is close to it. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's your homework. I want you to source out what your limiting beliefs are. Pop them underneath the video, or you can just start a new, what should we do? Should we start a new thread? Yeah, we'll start a new thread. Okay, after the video, I'll start a new thread, and then I want to see what all your limiting beliefs are about money. I bet you'll find that you have a lot of similarities amongst each other. The thing is, okay, so it's the mind that controls, yes, the mind controls everything we see, smell, touch, taste, hear, okay? Hi, Deja, welcome. So everything that comes in through our senses works through the filter of our limitations. Isn't that fucked? It's like, well, shit. No, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to live like that. So, phew, right? Okay, so I want to tell you a story about Bob. It's so funny. It's a real story, but I forget what his actual name is, so I change it every time I tell this story. Oh, I think it is Robert. So, hi, Teresa. Welcome, babe. So this story is really fascinating. Shield. If you're particularly energetically sensitive, shield yourself right now. Spoiler alert, it does not have a happy ending. So, okay, so Robert used to work at the dockyards, okay, and he was one of those people that tends to be realistic. So he's always helping people see the truth, right? He's kind of the first person to burst other people's bubbles. Not the most pleasant person to have around, but there are a lot of people who see themselves as realists, right? Yeah, filter out all the bad shit. Yes, agreed. That would be the best case scenario. So, okay, so one day, all of the dockyard guys decide to go to the pub. They just are finished with a particularly stressful shipment. They decide to celebrate by all going to the pub, which is very unusual because there's usually people on rotation 24/7. It's 24-hour shifts. And Robert forgets to do something, and actually goes back to his boxcar. Or not his, but maybe a different one. He goes back to a boxcar to do something, to tidy up, and he gets locked in. Refrigerated boxcar. No bueno. Now, Robert is also a very smart guy. So what he does, and what he knows, is he knows all the stages of hypothermia. He knows, he's been very well educated on how death works as far as when it comes to cold and working with the boxcars. So he screams and screams and screams until he loses his voice. He scratches and claws on the door until his fingers are bloody, and then he just resigns himself to death because he knows he's not going to make it through the night. So he writes a letter on something, a piece of paper that's in there, and he always carried a pen on him. So he writes a letter to his family explaining what's happened because he knows he's never going to see them again. And as the letter goes, his handwriting is getting shakier and shakier and shakier as hypothermia sets in, and he's explaining and he's dictating all the stages that he's going through. And he passes. He didn't make it. So the next day, the detective calls over the foreman, the dockyard, and asks for an explanation. He said, "This is very strange. It's very curious." I'm sure those weren't his exact words. How did this happen? And the foreman is, so regretful and explains that they all went to the pub, so no one was there to hear him and hear him crying for help. And the cop says, no, what is strange is that he has all the signs of freezing to death, but the refrigerated boxcar was broken. He froze to death in 65 degrees. If he was going to die, he should have just suffocated, and it would have taken 3 days for him to run out of oxygen. And so the only reason that he actually died is because he believed that he would. Within his body, he created for himself the process of freezing to death simply because he believed that that was happening. I know, it's wild. That's how powerful the brain is, my darlings. The brain will create whatever it believes. Thank you, Veronica. Exactly, Lindsay. Exactly. So, it's so powerful and so sad, but so important for us to know. It's so important for us to know that we can literally create anything within our body simply through our belief systems, simply by believing it to be true. So if you think that your money's going to slow down during a global epidemic, what do you think is going to happen? It is super real. Yeah, your mind is going to make sure that your money slows down during a global epidemic, right? Guess whose money didn't slow down? Many of my clients are having record days and months, $28,000 days, $50,000 months, $330,000 months, right? The only reason that not everybody's having that experience is because of their belief that it's not possible. So what do we want to believe? Yes, Lindsay, it's like the people that are sick all the time. Psychosomatic sickness is still real sickness. It's just self-created. Absolutely. 100%. So really what we want to believe, what do we want to believe, darlings? We want to believe that it is possible for us to be paid handsomely for being ourselves, don't we? Isn't that what we want? We want to believe that it's possible to live our best lives. Yes. To live. Rachel. That's perfect. Yes, we want to believe that we'll get stuck in a boxcar with $1 million. Yes. Ooh, Jasmine. Ooh, that's so interesting. So when we have skin issues, so that we're getting deep into it, right? So when we have skin issues, it's a feeling of unsafety. It's a lack of safety. Exactly. So it feels like you have had an experience in the cold, perhaps from a past life, that created an extreme lack of safety, and your soul remembers it when you get cold. And so, boom, cold equals I'm not safe. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that one, Rach. Okay, so we're gonna do the process. And the process we're gonna do it on is, it's not possible to get paid to be myself. That's a limiting belief. Ready? Who's ready? If you're ready, say, I'm ready. Or you can just type it. Because I don't know how you would say it with that tone. If you can figure it out, you get 5 extra gold stars. Love it. Cool. Oh, so much love. Yes, Tracy. Boom. Tracy's ready, everybody. Cool beans. All right, my love. So go ahead and just close your eyes. Oh, Gina. That feels like it. Yep. Definitely. You did it. Barbie. Yay. All right, Alyssa. It feels like we have the whole McGloin family. I love it. Yes. Woohoo. Let's do it. Love it. Yay. Excellent. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, that makes sense. Rachel, that has to be the phonetically closest that I can think of. I love that so much. Do. I'm ready. Yes, it's so perfect, Liz. Sense why your chest is breaking out. Yeah, you've been speaking about your next steps. Yes, and speaking about your trauma to help others. Yes, and I'm so proud of you for doing that. And also, when we have something, although if it's your chest, it sounds like it's your skin. But when it's inside, when it's your lungs, it's a conflict of will. It means it's somewhere in your life or somewhere in society. If you're an empath, you're having a conflict of will. All right, so let's take some nice deep cleansing breaths. And on one of those breaths, go ahead and close your eyes. When you're going to be breathing through all the heaviness and tension that you're feeling. So for you specifically, Miss Margaret, I want you to think of the stress that you're feeling, and I want you to breathe it into your lungs, and I want you to feel it come up and out of your throat and out of your mouth. I'm so stressed, by the way, is a limiting belief that you're reinforcing. Doesn't make it not true. It just means every time you think of it, it reinforces it and makes it stronger and more powerful. Good. Feel that. Breathe it up. Breathe it through. Good. I want you to think about someone who is paid to be themselves. If it's easy, you can pick me. Or just pick anyone. Anyone that comes to mind. Just pick one person. Good. Now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine switching places with them. You'll always switch back. So imagine that you could just lift up out of your body, and you could move across to where they're at, and you could drop down your energy. Oh, before you do, actually come up, come up, come up. Let's put a gel casing around you, almost like a bubble. We don't want to bring anything that you don't want back with you, so just surround yourself with a gel bubble, almost like a jello or plasma. Now drop into their body. Good. The first thing I want you to notice is the energy of the person whose body you're in. Ooh, hi everybody. Oh, I can feel a few of you are inside of me right now, looking out of my eyes. It's kind of fun. So notice the energy, how it feels to be in their body. And as you look out of their eyes into the world, notice how the world seems to them. And if you don't know, just take your best guess. Oh, it's so fun to feel you guys moving around in here. Like, the more the merrier. The next thing I want you to notice, because the first thing is what it's like to look out through this person's eyes into the world. I want you to notice the characteristics that they have that you also have. Now notice the characteristics that they have that you don't have that you would like to cultivate. And because you are ever changing and a beautiful, dynamic human, you have the potential to cultivate these changes at any time. Beautiful. Gather them like tools or just memories you want to pop in your toolkit for later. Perfect. Now I want you to notice the characteristics and challenges that they have that you don't want. And that might be what they had to go through to get to where they are that you don't want to, that you'd prefer to bypass. And just kind of shimmy right over and skate right over. Maybe the traumas that they've had. The experiences that were really, really damaging and soul destroying that they had to overcome. Or maybe things in their life, circumstances in their life currently that you don't want. Now, as this person, I want you to look over at yourself through their eyes and notice what that's like. What is it like to be this person looking at yourself? And as this person, what do you want to say to yourself? If you could give yourself a gift of knowledge or wisdom, what would it be? Beautiful. And I want you to now sink really deeply, deeply, deeply into their being and find the exact spot where you are one, where they are you, and you are them, and you are God, and you are all, and you are cosmos, and you are every being that ever existed. Find that spot within them. And as you do, notice. Notice what you didn't notice before. That the only difference between us is our choices, our actions, and what we choose to believe about ourselves and our own ability. It's not true. It doesn't exist. Good. Then go ahead and pop up out of their body. Bye, guys. Taking with you what is yours, leaving with them what is theirs. And letting the benefits, the things that you want to bring with you, imprint upon you so you can bring them back to your body. And as you come back to your body and back to yourself, I want you to receive that gift that they sent to you. What was that thing that they told you that they wanted to give to you? Receive that. Feel it yourself saying, yes, thank you, I'll take that. That advice, that suggestion, that permission, that warning. And as you observe that person and you observe yourself, I want you to notice what's different and what's the same. How have they and how have you shifted energetically? What do you now know or realize or understand more deeply that you didn't know before? And then when you're ready, come back to your body, come back to the room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake and alert. Hello, hello, hi, welcome back. Who's here? Tell me about your experience. Hi, yes, Gina's here. Tell me about what it was like to actually realize the truth of the matter, which is there's absolutely nothing standing in your way from being paid for being you. I felt you in there, Steph. That was fun. About you and Anne and Rach. Hi. Yes. Oh, that's so good. Jasmine, it's okay to ask for help and not do anything by yourself. Not do everything by yourself or even anything by yourself. We are collaborative beings. Just our essence of who we are as we showed up on this planet. Yeah, right? Positive thinking. Oh, I thought you were there, Kim. Yeah, I thought you were. But you were very, like, quiet about it. You were, like, shimmying in. Aww. Oh, Jess. Sitting. Oh, I grabbed your hands. And wouldn't you rather stand? Yes, I love that. Love that. Beautiful. What else? What else did you realize about your ability? Barbie, you were? Oh, maybe because I'm not familiar with your energy signature. That's fun. Yes, I felt a few of you in here who I haven't met before. That was really fun. That was so fun. What a fun exercise. Yeah, I trust you. Yes, you were super deep, Miss Anne. Definitely. Oh, courage, scheduling, organization, permission to explore fearlessly. Oh, my arm was itching. Yeah, it totally did. I didn't even notice. Good job, Tracy. Wow. Don't get locked down or pushed into something. You can do it. Oh, yes. How easy it could be if you accepted and opened up. Yes. Beautiful. I love that. Yeah, just how easy and effortless it is if you're just like, okay, it can be easy and effortless, right? It's all the other stuff, all the shit that's caked on us that tells us it's not possible, right? That's why I even have a business. If it was as easy as going, I'm done with that now, then all the world would be skinny, happy millionaires. Oh, Lindsay, great. Be mindful of true and toxic friends. Strangers can be family. Yeah, strangers can be better friends sometimes, especially the strangers that you're going to find here, because these strangers are just divine, angelic beings. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really, really great learning. Anything else that anybody wants to share about that experience? Excuse me. You envisioned getting bigger and bigger to hold all of us. No. My divine self. Yes, my divine self is my 25D version of myself is so big that I could actually hold the entire planet in my hand. So there's no amount of you that I couldn't fit into my space. Don't you worry. Maria, that's so beautiful. Your energy intertwined and we were the same one. Oh, because that's exactly what it is, right? Jasmine, you felt like we're high up on a mountain. You could see everything. Yes, the opportunity, because you can clearly see it. It's there. Yes. Oh, yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, so Gina, when I said you are God, I didn't mean you are creator God. You are. What I mean is that's the part of God that lives within you, the Holy Spirit. So if you go back and do that, that will help you. Does that make sense? There's a lot of Christianity programming that we'll bump up against from time to time, and that's totally okay. Lindsay, you felt, when you looked at yourself, you felt loneliness and stuckness. Lise, you were there too. That's so awesome. I love it. I know. I felt like 15 of you, like just in my space. It was so fun. I was like, oh, hi, everybody. Yes. Not that like you are Jesus, you are God, so it's your job to hold everything. More like that's the God part of you, and that's the part of you that's infinite. Beautiful. I love it. Oh, no problem, Mandarava. You can just go back and do it again. It's all good. No big deal, baby. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything else before we're done for the day? Does everybody remember their homework? So fun. Yeah, you can have it. I have so much confidence. It's not even confidence, my loves. It's like a certainty. I am so certain of who I am. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the certainty of who I am. That doesn't mean that I'm stuck, right? I'm not stuck in my identity. I am different from day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, week to week. I'm always different because I'm an ever-changing, fluid, moving human being. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, Jess. Exactly. Yeah. So it's my certainty that it's okay, that I have permission to show up as myself. It's a deep inner knowing that who I am is enough, and who I am is worthy, and who I am is. Yes. Yeah, I totally hear that. That just comes with practice, Linz. That comes with practice. And I had to go through a bunch of healing, right? I spent over $100,000 becoming the me that I am today. So I don't want you guys to spend, and over 7 years, I don't want you guys to spend that much time and effort. That's why I'm here, to teach you how to do the same thing, but condense it, collapse timelines, and speed up the velocity of your expansion so that you can get where I'm at, but in a much shorter time. Yeah. Beta says last night you were doing something on your laptop and it got stuck on 111 for the whole night. Ooh. Also 111, Saphir was telling me that 111 is essentially you cleansing and processing. So when 111 shows up, it just naturally means your team is there holding you while you cleanse and process. Yeah, I get it. Of course. Oh, totally. Totally. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I just love you. I love your courage and your bravery for showing up for yourself, for making a decision to draw a line in the sand and decide that it is so okay for you to be here, to be who you are, to be your next most expanded version of yourself. I'm so glad you found me too. Cool. Oh, you saw 222 collaboration, cooperation. Yeah, we're skipping the lines. We're going straight to checkout here. No. No more linear. No more boring linear processes. We're done with those. Have an amazing rest of your day. I shall see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be, I think 11 a.m. PST. So if you can't make that, no worries. Oh, Margaret, so you're clearing and cleansing, babe. Going through a lot. You are doing it. You're doing the work, which means that you're being held. I'll see you tomorrow. I so appreciate you. And those are all the words that I have right now. Bye. Love you. Bye.